Mr. J Hammer, hold up, I'm doing stuff. Okay. J Hammer, I require you to go onto the YouTube and have a look at said stream and tell me what it looks like. Because for me, it looks fine. Let's try launching the world, see what happens. Because I don't know how bitrate works. Alright, we'll see what happens. So far, there's been no dropped frames, so I'm assuming it's all working properly. Seems all good for both ends, yeah. I wasn't too sure because I'm streaming both the streams, not like streaming to restream that's then distributing the streams. So I wasn't too sure if I had to like double the bitrate or just went with it. Oh, hold on, there's a chat there. Professional streamer. Nah, there's probably just like natively a delay. I don't think that's like yeah, I reckon it's just I reckon there'll just be a delay. Yeah, I was like, well, okay, in my defense, right? All I could see was the stream itself and then a chat box that just says top chat. And I was like, okay, I'll just wait until someone types in there and see what happens. But I actually had to scroll down. Okay, so the whole idea of, oh yeah, that's right, I fixed this, I think. The whole point of trying to do both was that I would be able to then have better VODs and VODs that are saved on not on Twitch. Also, I just realized, how do I edit things? Let me do this before I die. How do you crop stuff? It's like a little logi thing at the bottom right that I want to get rid of. I don't know how to crop stuff. Oh, that's why. There we go. Shift. Oh, woo, Alt. There we go. Now I can like bring it like right in like this. There we go. And I can, I don't know, here or there. Now we have a. Okay, let's see if it freezes this time. Because I was playing with it earlier today. And it wasn't freezing. It was freezing when I did other stuff, and then it wasn't freezing later on. I have to. I have to read 2 different chats. Holy moly. Okay. It's a spare bed. It's a pull-out double bed, I think. Like those couches that you pull out, right? It's like those couches that you pull out, but it's a bed. So it starts off as a single bed, and then you can pull it out towards that like a double bed. It's supposed to be more like a day bed. Jamie explains it better. Yeah. Like you put it into like a sunroom or something. Now I'm just running around in circles. I didn't have a heck of a lot planned for today, well, tonight, other than I just wanted to see if YouTube worked and the cam worked for a little bit of time. So, oh yeah, that's right, I did a bunch of nether portals this morning. Which predicted my question. Pretty much. I am the predictor. So this morning we set up a cave spider spawner. Yeah, I mostly just wanted to like jump on today and tonight and see if the multi-stream part worked and if the cam will continue to work. And then I was just gonna hang out and go from there. Oh, so then I don't quite know how all the VODs are going to work as well. So then hopefully all of the... Like, I think how it works is all of the, like, the streams on YouTube will stay on, like, the live tab. So then it won't... So, like, this, the videos, the shorts, and the live tab. And I think all like streams stay in the live tab. Yeah. And then it should be a lot easier to rip stuff for videos as well, and it should be higher quality. I probably need to up my bitrate a little bit. Because it looks not 1080. I'm still on 6K, though. But it's jumping up and around to like 8 or 9K. Alright. But we might actually have to do some background stuff now, rather than just my big head. We might actually have to do some interesting things. I've never been a big green screen person, but I did think about doing a green screen. I also might move maybe the camera. Problem is that there's like kind of a more interesting background. Yeah, because at least with a green screen, then it'd be a lot more interact. Like you can interact like a lot more with it, like channel points and things. Like I'm pretty sure there's a way to change scenes. Not interesting though. Okay, dude. Can someone ban Mark? I think there's a way to like have chat interact with OBS. Because I know I've seen people change like light colors and stuff. Like they'll have like an LED strip, and like there's a channel point stuff that's they can change like the lights and stuff. Just hit yourself, so no. Alright. Oh yeah, okay. So on my thing this morning, I made some portals. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna exclusively more stream towards like my late nights. Especially with the way like work's going at the moment. I more or less streamed this morning because I didn't stream last night. And I sort of wanted to mess around with some stuff this morning. We bought in an hour? I don't know. Which way was it? Wait, did I never make... I don't think I ever made a way to the portal. I can't even remember where it was. Because... Alright, if the cam freezes, let me know. But so far, it's still going, so... Alright. I think I'm gonna have to run... I'm gonna have to run back there. What am I building? Your mother. I need to vote. At the moment, we're just, like, just setting up the world, really. Later on, we'll do, like, a bunch of, early game farms. Bacon doesn't care about YouTube chat. I'm watching you. I'll have to get Botrix to integrate the chats again. Because there's no way I could look at two different spots for chat. But that might... Oh, I guess that might work. Because I could have, like, the chat, right? And then have... I might have to do 2 strips for, like, activity feed. Because I don't think, like, the multi-combined chats... like, integrated all, like, the sub-alerts and stuff. I think I'd have to do, like, a separate activity feed for that. You're doing it right now, fine. Yeah, I've got YouTube open at the moment as well. But there is a way you can combine So how like the chat comes up on the screen, there is a way that you can combine so that way they both come up on the screen. I don't think it integrates it like to where the actual Twitch chat itself has the YouTube in it. But at least on screen it has the other chat flowing. So then it doesn't look like I'm crazy. Because it's fun. Just triple the chats now. I think 2's more than enough. Kick's not a very platform that I really want to associate with anyway. Use TikTok Lamau. I probably could. I don't know if my internet will be able to handle that much though. I might be able to do a vertical stream. Maybe 3. Trust the internet, you can do it. Alright, we'll give it a whirl next time. We'll give TikTok a whirl next time. Because I know there's a couple of things I'd have to do to set up TikTok. That is a little bit more complicated than just like a stream key. I think the way you get the stream key might be a little bit more different as well. I do, but I've only uploaded 1 video on there. Slash it used to be where I dump a lot of Warzone content, or like a lot of Warzone clips, but they're all private now. And now I've just got like 1 Minecraft clip on there. I'm being ignored. Alright, calm down, Mark. I'd have to end stream and then set it up, and it would probably take me half an hour or an hour to set up. So I don't really want to do that. So tell me about your guys' Christmas. What did you guys get up to? Anything important, fun, exciting? Did you guys sit around the campfire or around the fire watching YouTube videos of me? That's right. It's like here. Definitely a bird's nest. Nothing special, just got a new water bottle. I mean, low-key, gifts like that are actually the best gifts. Things that are useful that, like, you don't really want to go to the store and get your own. You know what I mean? Clothes and sweatpants, yeah. It's actually, unironically, like, socks and jocks and stuff like that are, like, the best Christmas presents. You got lots of shower gel. I think people are trying to tell me something. I mean, hey, 800 years ago, non-showering was the meta. Mr. Payton, hello? I can see you there. That was almost going to be devastating. You gotta remember, I don't have that Elytra. Jump or you're a pussy. I jumped. Okay, you know what? We are going to go to the end and get an Elytra. That is the goal of this stream. Congratulations on getting married. Technically not married yet. Just engaged. Alright, hold up. Let me focus. And then I can read you guys later. AKA, I'm never going to read you guys again. Scam. What I missed? No, I got engaged. I was thinking about doing a stream one time. Called, I made my wife play Minecraft for the first time. And it will all be from her perspective. And I'll just sort of be standing there vibing. We're back on the craft. No more Warzone. But the question is right, what version do we play? Do we play Java or do we play Bedrock? Because I have both versions. Like 2 accounts of both versions. Right, I'm gonna double this up because I don't trust myself. Alright, so we're playing Java then. Do Bedrock first? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I feel like Bedrock is probably a little bit better for newer players, from my understanding. I just haven't played Bedrock since it was on the Xbox 360. Is it Xbox 360 or Xbox One? One of the two. Be way better. Bedrock is kind of lame, to be honest. I agree. I agree. If you play Bedrock, you need lots of shower gel for Christmas. Alright, let's go to the... I don't have a lot of blocks though, that's the problem. That was a dig at me. No, that was a general statement. We love you, Mark. It's okay. Also, I wonder what the ad ratio of YouTube and Twitch are. Like, are you going to get served severely less ads on YouTube than Twitch? I'm curious. I'm gonna have a look. I don't know how I'm gonna look. I'm going back to the game. Yeah, that's true. I have to look more into it, like, because I know with Twitch you can also. Is my voice out of sync? Kind of looks like it's a little bit out of sync. Is it? No, it looks like it's in sync. It's good, yeah. Alright, focus. We are going to the end. Oh, that also means we're going to have to make an XP farm pretty soon, actually. And do all the villager stuff. Gotta go? All good, Mike. Enjoy the rest of your day. I can't remember which way. Is it this one here? Which portal is this? Yeah, this has to be it, because it goes down, like, all the way to Bedrock. Or, like, it goes down deep in the world. Nope, this isn't it. Top tier memories? I remember it better when it's on the roof. It's probably this one. Because then that one up there is... Oh, yeah. It's that one over there. It's that one right there. Because at least if we have an Elytra, right, we can't theoretically die full damage. Yeah, much less likely to die full damage. Also, for the first little bit, I want to just find stuff without chunk loader or chunk base, whatever it's called. Once when we start like doing some stuff, we'll go back and use chunk base. We'll actually play vanilla survival Minecraft once. Wait, how do I get in this? Don't I need a trapdoor? So I can't do that. Oh, god damn it. Yeah. Just for the first little bit, like, maybe to find our first witch hut, you know, we'll just run around and some other stuff like that. But when we're actually like looking to, not necessarily like the mega builds, but like when we're like, okay, cool, now let's actually get into it, we'll use chunk base. What the hell? Trapdoor. Came from the end just to smack you around. I don't know. I was like, bro, what? Damn, we really gotta fix our food situation. It's really bad. Like, really bad. Especially if we're gonna go kill some shulkers. They're like painful to kill. Alright. Try this again. It's so weird playing without Elytra. Like there's just this like, oh, I could just fall into this lava and there's nothing I can do. Like, waiting for it as well. I wonder though how long it would take for somebody that's never played Minecraft with my guidance to kill the Ender Dragon. Like, is this going to be like a 6-hour stream, or is this going to be a 3-month stream? Give or take 15. I reckon it will, yeah. Well, I mean, like, at the same time, when, like, if we did something like that, we wouldn't rush it as well. Yeah, well, I mean, like, it'd be more like just casually playing the game, and it'd be like, okay, this is how we actually finish the game. But we can mess around and do some other stuff. Because, like, there's honestly so much in this game now. Like, beyond the Ender Dragon. Like, I haven't been to the ancient cities yet. And, like, fought the warden and things like that. And then you've got the whole Pale Gardens. Is it Pale Gardens or something? That's just been added. They remind me of the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. That's like what I first thought when I saw them. I was like, that's pretty cool, actually. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's a really unique mob that adds a very different like dynamic to the game. And it's not just like hack and slash. It's like, oh, I've got to go find the little spawn thing that it comes from. I didn't bring any damn rockets. Hmm. It'd be cool if they completely restructured the game in terms of like the end was actually the end and they took you through all the other like parts of the game, well, for the most part, to get to the end. So like you had to go to the ancient city and you had to do this and you had to do that and you had to fight the Wither. And the Wither would be better if it wasn't RNG to get the skulls. Because currently, like, for, like, a new player's perspective, and like somebody who plays on their phone, it'd be really annoying to like fight the Wither because you have to just go to another fortress and kill a bunch of like Wither skeletons, and it can take a while as well. Even with looting 3, like it usually takes a fair bit to get all the skulls. Yeah, that's true. It would take, yeah. Like, it's good how it is currently, because it, like, there's no real, like, you have to go do this, and you have to go do that, and, like, you know, like, you need this gear to get that gear. And, like, you can kind of go to the end without having to do all those other things. But at the same time, like, the end was added in, what, 1.8? Beta or something. No, wasn't it 1.0? I'm pretty sure it was 1.0. And now we're at like 1.21.4 or something. So it's like it was a fair while ago. And there's been so much content that's been added to the game since. Worried we're gonna run out of blocks at this rate. Is there like a it's kind of just as far. Just trying to find an island that's like not as far. Bro's a consistent streamer now. Bro is #1 on the consistency leaderboard. Hello, Victor. We actually might run out of blocks. I kind of thought this would go a lot quicker. Good. Damn. This oh, at least we can go back pretty easily. Good at the house yet? No. Kind of gave up on that part. So we go down like here-ish. Oh god, this takes forever to break. What that sound was. We might have to go back to that portal. Go get some more blocks. And some more food. So it might be a bit of a pause on the Elytra mission. At least this area I can sort of run through it and not have to keep bridging over. Oh, damn it. Alright, now we keep going. Oh, it's another portal right there. So I don't really have enough blocks to bridge anywhere now. Hmm. Hmm. Got a decent amount of weight as well. Surprised we haven't seen at least just a normal one without a Elytra. Probably like perfectly dodged all of them. I agree. I've been hacked. Sure. How are you, Imperial Hal? I'm back, damn it. There was peace and quiet. We have to go back and get like a ton of blocks. Which is a bit unfortunate, but I better go across here and walk a bit further and see what happens. Oh, is that one of them? I think it's. I don't think it's one that we're looking for though. Oh no. Yeah, right there. I'm pretty sure that's ship one. I can probably just zoom in with FOV. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, right there. It's got a ship on it. This is gonna be a pain in the ass to get to though, I'll tell you what. There's no point going back because it'll take us ages to get back here. So we just need to get some blocks we can bridge over. I should definitely use those sparingly because I don't have a lot of health. Like able to regen health. Oh, there's another one over there. Maybe we're just like in a ring where there was just none of them. Like the first little bit of the ring. There's more blocks. Loud noise. More blocks. Yep, that's the ship. It's a good find though for that first one, not a ship. Grab a bunch of extra blocks though. Get up there. Oh, we're just like boat down. Oh, yeah, we're just boat down. We'll run back. So we can just use the elytra, but I don't really want to use the durability on it though. I hope a stacking of it's gonna be enough. It's gonna be in this really. It's gonna probably be easy to like pillar up here. And then pillar across. So to do that we need way more blocks. And that's if we So I gotta be really careful of this full damage. Just really worry about that one there. But we can like do this. Can it chorus root? I'm kind of worried to eat it. If it's gonna like yeet us off the cliff or something. That went way over, didn't it? Please don't do anything. Oh! I've never had so much anxiety from using a fucking ender pearl. My god. Alright, we're quiet. We're good.
Making bacon.
Black Blue Wolf. Interesting name. How are you? Mending on it. Nice. Oh, that's actually a really good. Like a binding on it. Ugh. Hello, hello. How are you? Alright, I'm just gonna run off the edge and do this. I feel so much better to have this now. I'm not gonna waste it though. On a raft. Wait, what? On a raft. It's like, what's a raft? On a raft. As in, like, you're physically playing on a raft, or you're playing like a mod that makes you on a raft? So many questions. Am I doing well? Doing well. How was your Christmas? Oh, it's a mod, okay. I was like, I was confused. I had lots of questions. If you were actually playing on a raft. Let me have this screenshot. Okay, so we need to go to, wow, 500 blocks this way. That's good then. At least it's the best you could. At least it's the best Christmas it could have been. I think that's what like is super overrated about Christmas is that it's like a lot of the time there's like so much pressure to have this like amazing Instagram Christmas. You know what I mean? I think low key Christmases are always better. I've always preferred like low key Christmases. There's too much like uh, social interaction for me. Like I'm good for a couple of hours, and then after that, I'm out. Three eight six. So it should just be coming up here in a sec. Right there. It's so much better having a Elytra now. Like, so much better. We just need to get mending for it, and we need to build an immense farm and a bunch of other stuff. But at least we got that now. 3 shulkers. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Hold up, I'm thinking. Umbrella. True. And topping is hot, I agree. The worst part is when you have like your hand like slightly on the wrong part of your keyboard. So then it is all just complete gibberish what you write. Oh, by the way, we got one. Look. Boop. Missed it, unfortunately. All good. Enjoy your raft. Thanks for popping in. We really need to fix this whole food situation. Just need any food right now so I can run again. That'll do. That'll do. What are we gonna do with this food? Like, I mean, we could do salmon. That's like... That's just gonna be painful. Every time. This is not too bad. A lot more. They respawn is the main thing. Oh, look at these fish go. Therefore, this guy making me read more than one chat. Alright. Making sure I'm paying attention to YouTube. Okay. It's probably was it Ada that was in there earlier? Oh no, Peyton. Oops. Read these guys up. Ooh, 3. That's not bad, actually. Three isn't bad. Make a smoker for food? I don't know. I've never really done like the smoker and like the other one. I'm just always done with furnace. Call me old fashioned. Alright, so we got the elytra, now what? Oh, you know what we could do actually? I guess we could do that. Because we found that skeleton spawner from earlier. I don't know if I want to do that though. I really need to like write myself a list. Alright, we'll do the skeleton spawner. I need to go into the screenshots folder though. Screenshots. This one? No. It's the cave spider spawner. That's the skeleton. Alright, so negative 100, 455. We'll get flint and steel actually as well. And probably some chests. Mr. Atomic, good evening, good afternoon. Yes, I think I got it to work finally. Also, I just realized the chests are back to normal. Flint and steel. I don't know where it is. Just sort of some random stuff, really. I need to start writing myself a list of things to do. Like, that's like chronological order. I wanted to see if the cam was actually going to work properly, and I wanted to experiment with YouTube multi-streaming. Because I wanted to have a place a bit more for the VODs, rather than having to like download the Twitch streams all the time and then re-upload them to like YouTube. So then it'd be easier also to like rip stuff and turn it into YouTube videos if I want to go down that path. Because if it's all already just all downloaded on YouTube, then I can just re-download it. Ah yes, we still need an XP farm and mending books. Oh, should we actually go do that? We need emeralds then. Because we have a villager, or we have a lectern there, so we could lock in a mending book, a mending trader, mending villager. But we could probably, but we need some emeralds first. They're usually pretty cheap. They're usually like 15 to 20 emeralds or something. Like for a really bad trade. I think normally cheaper than that actually. I think they're like 10. Hey Cal. There's a villager in here. Guy's been going to town on something. There's another guy in here. What is he? Don't have any clay. I could give him something else. What's in here? I think it's a leather worker. Toolsmith. There's a farmer here. What does he have for me? Carrots. I don't have carrots. A carrot? Ugh. What's going to be the easiest thing currently? Oh my god, they're all in the cave. Why are they all down here? Oh, because they can't get out. That's why they're all down here. Yeah, what about the easiest one's going to be, actually? So there is, like, some clay, but I don't have... Hold on, let me go on the wiki. On thy wiki. Minecraft villager. Already kidnapped him? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so an armorer. Coal, can't really afford to lose 15 coal at a time. Butcher, nothing really. Photographer sells... I can sell him paper for emeralds, but it's 24 paper. Run flash. Farmer, wheat potatoes, blah 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 blah. Fisherman. Ooh, a string actually, because we have lots of string. Let's do that. Let's get a barrel. I'm gonna chop down these trees. Ah, I already had, apparently. Barrel. I need to go get the string. Protector. Pagans committing war crimes. No. Atomic has it right. I am protecting them. Er. Down. We're down the hole. Oh, I'll dig my own hole then. I'll have to come AFK like overnight or something here. Don't need water. Guess I'll just die of dehydration. Alright, give me a sec. I need to go get some water. What the? Where is my first victim? Aha! Right here. Victim uno. Who's gonna pick it? This one. Nope. Oh, alright, now I need to come in here. No. God damn it. He's gonna come back. It's night time anyway. He has no choice but to come back. Hey, strapped in here with me. Bruh. Back. Doesn't let him sleep. Damn right. What should we get a Fortune 5? Oh my god, if that was a Fortune 5 there, I would have lost it. Doesn't like density? No. I need Mendy. And he knows it. on, mending. I need 2 more emeralds. What's this guy? Did he fall off the cliff? That was a bit rude. That was a bit retarded. Come on, guys. Oh my god. What's this guy? Oh, he's a fisherman. Refresh your trade. I was gonna find another village and leave this too. Alright, there we go. Ending. Alright, cool. So now this guy needs to be safe forever. Is there lighting up here? Yep, there is. Quick, come up here. I put his lectern up here and he'll come up here. Come. Aha! Ending is locked in. I guess we also have then an income of emeralds now as well from the string farm. We don't really have anything else at the moment that really generate us anything. But we can't add it to our light tree yet because I don't have enough iron to do that. Okay. Back this way. Off to make a skeleton farm. what we do need to do actually, as another thing, is we need to go to a swamp at night time and kill a bunch of slimes. Because then that will get us some slime blocks. Then we can make a cobblestone gen with. And then that will give us blocks. And then from there we can do a bunch of other stuff. I mean, we're not far off breaking into like making all the farms and stuff now. Like there's only a couple more things that we gotta do. Like obviously, what do you call it? Cobblestone generator, and then we'll be able to make an XP farm from there. And I just flatten a slime chunk to get slime blocks and slimes. It's just easier to go to a swamp. I think some of the best slime farm now is in the swamp. Like a ridiculously high rate farm. I didn't bring a water bucket as usual. I do really need a bucket. So I want to get a little bit of obsidian. So we can make a portal that goes back and forth from the skeleton farm. Why am I around over here? We could just use the portal. Yeah, I'm just using the portal to go back to get a bucket. Or I can just make one. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Oh my god. Take my hand off my keyboard. 1 second. Do need another bucket of water though for a water source, but this will do. Now we'll just go to the spawner, start digging it all out. Where are we going? Negative 100. We have 100 and 455, so we need to go. Okay, bring it back. No, it is that one. Oh, quick, get across. $102. Then it's also saying. Let's go before he kills me. Crap. Where am I facing? South, east, northwest. Damn it, it's gonna be like in this corner. If I just go directly down here, it'll be okay. Because there's like a little bit of a room that I can like dig down. I go like in different directions. I'll just dig down from here. I don't really torches. What am I doing? They're not prepared at all. Damn it. What's happening? I missed something? We're just going to the... We found a skeleton spawner at one point. And we're going to go there and make a skeleton farm out of it. Also question my ability to not bring things. Like torches. It's at Y level 22. A little bit further. Ooh. 455, not 44, not 4455. It's 455. I guess we could just bridge to it. Like it's only going to be 10 blocks this way. Wait, what? Oh, wait. Damn. I was way too confused for that. I was like, where is this? I'm like, coordinates are exactly. Did I like take a screenshot of a different world? Light it up on fire. Go through. Oh, that's a problem. Really? They synced? It's annoying. Wait, what? Oh, it's overwritten the other one. Okay. I do want to fix that quickly. So basically what's happened is the portals are too close together. And then automatically synced together. So the cave spider one and this one. But in order to fix that, what we have to do is we have to make another portal in the nether, but of the exact coordinates of the one in the overworld of the cave spider spawn. The reason why it's probably overwritten it is it's probably supposed to be over a lava lake. For the cave spider spawner. Maybe, yeah. We'll see what happens. I'll just get the obsidian for it, and then we'll go and fix it. Tired. I need to start having coffee. I guess what happens when you're awake until 2 o'clock in the morning. do get a little bit tired. I did want to stream until about 3 a.m. So that's about another 45 minutes. I think this is going to be the easiest way to do it is pillar up. And jump out over here. Oh, I should have taken the chords of the other ones because I should have probably also moved the other one a little bit. If it doesn't sync, then that's what I'll have to do. Okay, so my calculator for this one. Let's calculate up there. So 331 divided by 8 is 41. So negative, yeah, see, would have been over here. Negative 41 by 409 divided by 8. It's 51. Ah, I didn't need any. Alright. That should link up. Okay. Alright, back to working on this. Cool. Let's go farm time. So pretty much exactly the same thing as we did in the other area. Go 4 out. 4. Actually, I don't think we'll do like an XP version of this. I was originally going to use like the whole water thing, and where they come down and you just whack them. I think we'll just do the same version as what we did. For this cave spider one where they just fall to their death. Because, like, I don't really need the XP. Well, I mean, right now I do, but very soon I won't. And then I have to hook up like a macro and all this other stuff to do it the other way. I'd rather just have something I can just get some bones for now. Maybe we find another skelly spawner and do it the other way, because then we can have like mending and looting and whatnot on it. But for now, we'll just do it this way. I was thinking about possibly doing sometimes when it gets like a little bit more grindy stuff. We do more like we can watch like YouTube videos and stuff while I do that sort of stuff. Because sometimes it can get like a little bit like really grindy things. I'm not too sure how I would like want to do that. If it's like a request feature where people can like request videos either through channel points or just ask for a video. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like when it just sort of gets to that like just sitting here just mining cobblestone and there's not really much to talk about. We could look at possibly watching YouTube. Man, our YouTube is ridiculous. Yeah. Because I want like actual videos to watch, not like you know, just random stuff. What's this?
have you ever wondered how and why air strafing actually works?
Oh wait, this is about video
I
games.
certainly have. I mean,
Like as in FPSs.
I know how to air strafe. That information isn't really hard to come by, but I've never actually understood the technical and mathematical reasons as to why it even exists in the first place. Oh, look at that. Oh, this doesn't actually look that complicated. I think the most
How's
sensible
that?
thing to start with is to first take a step back and talk about what air strafing even is and what it does.
I don't know.
It's a movement technique that allows you to both move in a curve and gain speed as long as you're in the air. The most common way to perform it is by holding either left or right while moving the camera in the corresponding direction. This is also pretty much always combined.
This also might be a dangerous rabbit hole where I kind of just end up like spending 3 hours looking for. Are you trying to Subway Surf with me? Look, I did set it up before a little bit like that. Alright, let's find a video and just watch the video instead of me spending 3 hours trying to find the video.
Hey again. Did you know that Titanfall 2 is a Source game? Well, if you've seen any marathon runs of the game from the last, I don't know, 5 years, you probably know because...
What you might not know about Titanfall 2 is that it runs on a modified version of the Source engine.
Modified version.
Heavily modified Source engine?
Source engine.
Source engine.
Source engine.
Source engine.
Source engine.
Yeah, it's basically the #1 fun fact about Titanfall 2 that every speedrunner wants to be the first to tell you. And for good reason, because it's kind of a big deal considering that most speedruns of Source engine games tend to look kind of ridiculous. Source games are pretty much the cream of the crop when it comes to FPS games with cool movement mechanics, and the iconic pieces of movement tech associated with Source runs have an incredibly deep history rooted all the way back in the Quake engine, which was reused and adapted many times over the course of many projects. From the Quake engine to Gold Source over to Source and Source 2, there were obviously many changes even within the basic movement mechanics, but the fundamental controls that gave birth to bunny hopping and air strafing stayed, meaning that these mechanics could be studied and perfected by speedrunners over the course of decades, making them some of the most recognizable bits of speedrun tech out there. So, if you're not super familiar with Titanfall, it might come as a surprise to you that it shares these same bits of tech in combination with all of the sliding and wall running you can do on top of that. The mix of these mechanics is what creates arguably one of the deepest movement systems of any modern FPS game out there. And if you don't believe me, the resources compiling all of the movement tech in Titanfall include both a 10-page glossary filled with definitions, along with a 40+ minute guide explaining how to perform most of them. The specific version of the Source engine that Titanfall uses has so many interesting mechanics and quirks that it either inherits from previous iterations or are unique to this version that it could probably fill out multiple PhDs and 7-hour video essays, so today I'm going to focus on just one quirk that's unique to the Titanfall engine and how it has evolved to be one of the most important movement mechanics for speedrunners and competitive players that now the majority of all commonly used techniques are based around. So, let's talk about Strafe Lurch. Okay, so first off, what even is Strafe Lurch? As the theory goes, when the devs at Respawn were working on the player movement, they realized that the Source engine controls don't really lend themselves well to controlling yourself in the air if you don't have like 700 hours on surf maps. So, as a helping hand for new players, they implemented a mechanic that they likely internally called the jump keyboard grace period. This is the mechanic that would be dubbed Strafe Lurch by the community, so I'm gonna be referring to it as that instead of this comically long dev name. At a fundamental level, Strafe Lurch allows you to make quick, small corrections of your mid-air trajectory by just hitting the direction you want to go in directly after jumping. Sounds simple enough, but there are actually 4 different variables that each influence a different part of how it actually works in the game. Jump keyboard grace period max defines how long after a jump the mechanic will stay active. By default, it's set to 0.5, meaning 0.5 seconds in the game. So if you press a movement key in any direction within that half second after jumping, you will get a lurch pointing in that direction. Jump keyboard grace max and jump keyboard grace strength both define how Strafe Lurch is actually applied to your movement. Max defines the upper limit of how strong the overall change in velocity can be, and strength defines the angle of the lurch based on your input direction. The way these two work together and the way they're tuned makes it so that you lose a bit of speed every time you lurch, creating a bit of a trade-off between maneuverability and speed. jump keyboard grace period min has arguably the least noticeable effect, because it affects the drop-off in strength over time. Generally, the later you press the movement key, the weaker the effect of the lurch will be. You would think this is a simple linear drop-off, but grace period min actually fixes the strength to its max value for 0.2 seconds, after which it drops off normally. Another fun tidbit is that, for whatever reason, the strength hits 0 after 0.4 seconds, instead of the half second you might expect. So in practice, the actual lurch window you have during gameplay is just a bit less than half a second. Okay, so that's most of the technical details out of the way, so let's now take a look at how all of this knowledge even came to be and why speedrunners need to know this kind of stuff, because this mechanic has actually been the centerpiece driving a whole lot of discussions about input methods and input emulation. Now, when I'm talking about input methods, I'm specifically referring to keyboard and controller as different ways to play the game, and how the differences between the two affect movement and speedrunning. Case in point, strafe lurch. One thing you may have been able to deduce by looking at the variable's names is that it was seemingly only built for keyboard inputs, and you'd be completely wrong, actually. Well, kind of. Specifically, strafe lurch actually only appears when the movement is being controlled through digital inputs instead of analog ones. For context, digital inputs are ones that only ever send one of two values, either on or off. This is, for example, your keyboard buttons, but it's also things like the face buttons and D-pad on your controller. Analog inputs, on the other hand, send a wide range of different values. This is your analog sticks and also triggers on your controller. For our purposes though, we can think of the keyboard as a digital input device and the controller as an analog input device, even though it also has digital buttons, which will definitely not become important later on. The presence and absence of strafe lurch for digital and analog inputs is by far the biggest difference between keyboard and controller when it comes to movement and speedrunning, and due to this they feel fundamentally different to play on.
Driver True, how are you? Hope you're having a good day.
But because the game literally behaves differently depending on what you use to play it.
I feel like it's Subway Surfer streamer right now.
Keyboard and controller movement has to some extent always been known to feel different, without anyone being able to pinpoint exactly why that was the case, beyond the obvious differences in how moving and looking around works. It didn't take too long though for speedrunners playing on keyboard to find out about strafe lurch intuitively.
Subway Surfer streamer now, guys.
And experiencing it when trying to air strafe. Because you're open to get lurched every time you jump, it's not exactly a shy mechanic that tries to hide itself, especially if you try playing the game like any other Source game, where it's optimal to switch strafe directions about 10 million times per jump to get the perfect line. Strafe lurch was seen by speedrunners as a mechanic that punishes you with speed loss and an awkward change in direction if you start strafing too early after a jump, and one that should be avoided as much as possible because of that. The way this was done at first was by simply waiting out the half-second lurch period after every jump so that one could start a strafe or switch strafe directions without incurring any of that speed loss. Slide-ups, for example, were done in such a way that you only switch strafe directions right before a jump to ensure being well outside of the lurch period from the previous jump. When kicking off of a wall, however, having to wait that half second before you could start strafing meant that a lot of jumps that included crossing large gaps like heatsink skip or river jump were much more difficult because of the limited amount of time you would be able to strafe. Because the act of air strafing actually gains you speed, you will always get more distance out of a jump by strafing rather than going in a straight line, as counterintuitive as that may seem. And while keyboard players cried in pain, controller players both on console and PC never experienced this, and never had to deal with avoiding strafe lurch, so people quickly became wise to the
That is
fact
the
that
most,
they
like,
did behave
TikTok
differently
millennial
depending on what
brain
you
I've
used
ever
to play.
seen.
You
Ever
could
heard
pretty
of.
much argue that controller players had a pretty significant advantage over keyboard players in this regard. Because they never experienced lurch to begin with, they have the freedom to strafe for the entire time that they're airborne. For any wall kick double jump combo, that's a full extra second of strafe time that keyboard players just didn't have access to, meaning that controller players were able to gain a lot more speed from simply being able to air strafe more. And that extra speed adds up very quickly due to the momentum-based nature of Titanfall 2 as a speedrun. The only consolation for keyboard players was the developer-intended ability to make small corrections after a jump.
I actually never played
Doesn't really
Titanfall
mean all
2.
that much when the alternative is just, not being slow. And there were really not a lot of places where these corrections could be used to gain an actual advantage over just gaining more speed via strafing. The place where this controller superiority showed itself the most was in the Gauntlet,
Dude, that was a thing?
where controller players like Cash Mayo and Vadim were holding top times way above what most keyboard players could accomplish. This sort of status quo would remain until around July of 2019. This is when the first major developments around strafe lurch began hitting the speedrun community. And that was the realization that it's possible to lurch multiple times in a single jump, as long as all the inputs are within a lurch timer. Out of this knowledge, a technique known as tap strafing emerged, with players from the competitive community like Reginals being some of the first to adapt this technique and really bring it into widespread use. The term tap strafing is now more widely known through Apex Legends, the more popular game. Tap strafing completely revolutionized how keyboard players moved in spaces that required tight and precise movement around corners. Before this point, people had already been using strafe lurch for small corrections and cutting slightly tighter corners in a few places.
I feel like this is a really good video
Opened
if you
up
played
new
a lot of League of
possibilities,
Legends.
because for the first time, runners were able to take control of strafe lurch and manipulate it exactly how they wanted.
This is the layer that we
Why
need
is
to come
making
down
these
to.
sharp turns with tap strafing so good now? Well, Source games have a variable called air acceleration, which is effectively just how the engine handles air control. Due to the way the movement physics are calculated, air acceleration is actually what makes it possible to air strafe, and the higher the value for it is, the quicker you can turn in the air using air strafing. Classic Source games usually have a pretty high value for this, but Titanfall 2 comparatively has a much lower value, which means your turn rate for air strafing is capped much lower, and it only gets worse the faster you go. So you can imagine how limiting this turn rate becomes when you're playing the game with the goal of going as fast as possible, and this is where the power of tap strafing becomes apparent. The way it's performed is by first strafing in a direction and then repeatedly tapping forward to get lurched to the side that you're strafing. And now you might ask, well, hang on, I thought strafe lurch was applied in the direction of the button that you pressed, so why would tapping forward lurch you to the side? And that's a good question. The reason this works is because when applying lurch, the game doesn't
need to go
actually
back
care
to
about which
pickaxe.
exact button you pressed, because what it checks for is the overall direction that you're holding at that
Also, my
moment.
cursor's
So when you're
disappeared.
holding right and tapping forward, for example, the game ends up reading a diagonal forward-right input and applies a lurch accordingly. By holding a side direction and mashing your forward key, you can trigger as
That's really
many
weird.
diagonal lurches
Can't-
as you want
I
within
can't
half
see
a
my-
second, giving a big middle finger to Titanfall's low air acceleration in the process.
Is it 'cause
And
I'm
this
on,
is what
like-
tap strafing does. The trade-off here is, of course, that you lose a bit of speed on every lurch. Like I mentioned at the beginning,
just
the
can't see
trade-off
my cursor.
between maneuverability and speed is one of strafe lurch's core properties. We can actually go one step further in abusing lurch by changing the direction that they point in. Instead of holding a side direction and tapping forward to
Yeah,
get
it's really
a
weird.
90-degree lurch, we can just tap the side direction repeatedly to get 90-degree lurches. This is what's called fizzy strafing, named after the runner who developed it. This method allows for much sharper
Minecraft
changes
is
in
a
direction,
perfect game with
also
no
loses
issues.
more speed on every lurch, because both the change in direction and the speed loss are proportional to the angle that the lurch is pointed. So now, keyboard players had a much more useful way of abusing strafe lurch, and the versatility of tap strafing is ultimately what made it so powerful. Controller players were looking like they were in danger of falling behind, as they couldn't replicate these sharp turns on their analog sticks. However, if you played with a controller on PC, you had an ace up your sleeve, and it was called using external software. Using programs like JoyToKey,
Literally
you could
cheating.
rebind the face buttons on the controller to keyboard buttons like WASD, making it possible to tap strafe on controller. Remember when I told you the digital buttons on the controller wouldn't become important? I lied. Sorry. In theory, this was exactly the thing that controller players needed to catch up to the possibilities that playing on a keyboard allowed. In practice, however, having to use external tools to rebind buttons and having to switch into an uncomfortable claw grip to tap strafe made it so that it didn't find very widespread use among speedrunners at first. Not to mention that it was also exclusive to PC, so the trend of console players getting the short end of the stick goes back pretty far. Considering the possibilities for movement though, keyboard and controller were on a pretty even playing field now. Keyboard players were able to trade some speed to make tighter turns, and controller players were able to generally maintain more speed over slower turns, and could still tap strafe if the runner was willing to rebind their digital face buttons. This, again, in theory, meant that controllers still maintained a small advantage over keyboard, even if that advantage wasn't being utilized very heavily. And then August of 2019 happened, which marked one of the most volatile chapters in the history of Titanfall's speedrun community. It was the month of the Among Runners infamous lurch controversy. It began when runner Fizzy started playing around with emulation software that would mask digital keyboard inputs as analog inputs. He realized that strafe lurch was completely gone, even though he was still using a keyboard to play the game. So immediately, all of the differences between how controller and keyboard felt made perfect sense, and it became clear that strafe lurch was exclusive specifically to digital inputs. Now it was understood exactly why controller movement was generally so much more smooth and keyboard movement much more sharp and erratic. And when playing without lurch on keyboard, inputs become much more about flow rather than order of execution. But the reason this became known as such a controversy is because it sparked a huge discussion about whether this emulation software should be allowed for runs. Brian Otto made a video documenting this whole discussion right after it took place, which I definitely recommend watching if you want a more in-depth look at how the community went about this. After a lot of very civil discourse, the community ended up voting to ban digital to analog emulation and vice versa. So what the community ended up taking from this, aside from sharpening their debate skills, is the definitive knowledge of how the game handles these different input methods and how it affects Strafe Lurch as a whole. And this would ultimately set up everything we would need to know for the next major step to fully understanding Lurch. Fast forward to March 2020. This is when the last piece of the puzzle for keyboard players was found that completely changed how the game was played again. Nearly every core piece of movement tech got a fresh new coat of paint by the name of No Lurch Movement Tech, and most of these developments were spearheaded, again, by Fizzy, who at this point, thanks to his central role within the Lurch controversy and hands-on experience with input emulation, was light years ahead in how much he understood about Strafe Lurch. The principle behind all of this new tech comes from the fact that the game only ever applies Strafe Lurch to your movement when you press a movement key, and not when you release it. The idea is that when we want to strafe after a jump, we need to make sure that during the jump we're already holding the button corresponding to which way we want to strafe. Depending on what kind of jump you're doing, the exact technique differs slightly, but it's all still based on the same principle of holding the strafe key before the jump and then letting go of any keys that obstruct strafing after it. The simplest of these is the no lurch variant of the wall jump. Wall jumps in general require a forward input in order to gain speed from it, and in order to strafe after it, you need to hit a side direction. But while you're still on the wall, you can hit either strafe direction and not suffer any lurch, meaning you can hit it right before jumping and then let go of the forward input right after the jump. This then allows you to start strafing instantly without getting any lurch. And this technique also applies to all of the extended speed tech inherited from the wall jump, like wall kicks, edge boosts, and end boosts. Wall kicks, being the most timing sensitive wall tech due to having to jump off of the wall immediately, can actually be messed up by hitting a side direction when approaching the wall. Holding into the wall will pull you into it more sharply, and holding away from it can sometimes make you not grab the wall at all. So wall kicks actually have another more advanced variant called a neutral strafe kick, which avoids both of these problems by holding both left and right in addition to forward, so that the left and right inputs cancel each other out to become a neutral input. And by doing this, you can then also strafe in either direction after the wall kick from the exact same inputs. The act of holding both left and right to make a neutral input is also used for the no lurch version of the double jump. Because a neutral double jump simply maintains your speed, the forward input isn't even necessary, so just holding left and right and letting go of one of the keys to start strafing works out perfectly. Making this neutral input is also beneficial because it takes advantage of the same principle as tap strafing and how the game reads your inputs. If you press the button within the lurch timer of the previous jump, the game will still try to apply lurch on your key press, but because you're then holding a neutral input, the direction that the lurch is applied in is perfectly in line with the direction you're going, meaning the lurch doesn't actually change your movement. So it's possible to switch strafe directions at any point, as long as there is at least one frame during the switch where both the left and right key are being held. Okay, I think you're getting the idea of how massive this discovery was, because it effectively obsoleted every bit of speed tech that involved jumping. So the new no lurch variants just became the standard way of doing things, and the frankly a bit unwieldy prefix fell somewhat out of use in general discourse. This of course doesn't mean that the regular variants don't have their place. In fact, they're still extremely useful if you intend to follow up the jump with a tap strafe, because you get one extra lurch for free when starting the strafe, allowing you to make tighter corners with fewer deliberate inputs. Since these discoveries all apply exclusively to keyboard players, it may seem like they now have a huge leg up over controller players, but it's not quite that black and white in my opinion. If we think about what you can achieve on both, it's pretty much the same. You can do both lurchless movement and tap strafe on both input methods. The difference now is that you get lurchless movement on controller for free, but tap strafing is somewhat inaccessible and awkward. And keyboard players have easier access to tap strafing while also being able to do lurchless movement, but having to learn specific tech for it. And that's about the state of things for runners today. So, what's next? So far, everything I've been talking about is just how Strafe Lurch has been seen in relation to how humans play around.
How long is this
but
video?
there is a whole separate world within speedrunning where what is
I thought we were about to watch like a 4-hour video.
I'm of course talking about tool-assisted speedruns, which in Titanfall completely destroy the movement. And Strafe Lurch is a surprisingly big part of that, which makes sense because if we look into the tools that were developed for tasking Titanfall, we see a familiar name. Strafe Lurch is abused in the task in two very special ways, most obviously making these kinds of ridiculous turns with zero speed loss. These strafes take advantage of a specific property of the relation between the angle of the lurch and its resulting speed loss. I mentioned earlier that the angle of the lurch relative to where you're going is proportional to both the change in direction and speed loss. However, there is a small range of angles where this doesn't apply. A lurch pointed up to 25 degrees to either side of the velocity direction will trigger the normal change in direction, but without any speed loss. It's possible to get these very small lurches by aligning your camera to be slightly off to one side and spamming the forward key. And of course, by using timescale to slow the game down and letting the tools hit the forward key as many times as the game can handle, these kinds of dummy sharp turns are the result, and they are used all throughout Titanfall's TASes. On the other side of the spectrum, the relation between the angle and speed loss can be used to maximize exactly that, speed loss. The way to do that is with a lurch pointed directly backwards, which will lose the most possible speed without throwing you off your current trajectory. And of course, the TAS can take that to its theoretical limit and come to a complete stop in the air pretty much instantly. Obviously, these kinds of techniques shown in tool-assisted speedruns like this will never be humanly possible. But they do show the ridiculous potential that this seemingly small little helper mechanic called jump keyboard grace period can have. And even if that potential won't be reached by humans, both it and the tech surrounding it have absolutely become staples of Titanfall 2 speedrunning, and they've made the game's movement that much more fun and interesting.
Well, that's interesting. I wasn't really prepared for that. Oh, what's next? Pretty much. Oh, I've actually been wanting to
The
watch
YouTube
this.
community is no stranger to stage.
I guess in this,
content, from
my
staged
recommendeds.
pranks to overdramatic challenge videos. Everyone is used to creators being a little over the top, and that's generally okay for the most part. However, there is a growing category of content that from the outside is wholesome and seemingly innocent, but in reality thrives on outright lying to viewers, destruction, and often even going to extreme lengths of cruelty in order to harvest more clicks and AdSense revenue.
Is they're just compiling rescue videos of actual sea turtles intermittently with ones that are not legitimate.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be investigating the cruel world of fake restoration and animal rescue content. Around 2 years ago, I made 2 videos covering the disturbing lies behind fake restoration and animal rescue channels. Thankfully, multiple of the channels I discussed were terminated after my video's release. However, the situation has only got worse, as my original video was falsely copyright claimed, resulting in half the video being cut out after uploading and ultimately being no longer recommended to anyone. And since then, this problem has only seemingly got worse. Restoration videos have been a viral staple on YouTube for over 3 years, with the niche having several subcategories. The most common variant involves creators discovering rusty, aged, or seemingly naturally damaged items, and then documenting the steps of restoring it back into its intended form. The content grabs viewers by showing a thumbnail featuring an extremely corroded and damaged item, begging the question of what it would look like if it were brand new. While their restoration process might seem incredibly effective at returning these damaged objects into their original form, a closer look yields some very apparent issues. From artificially aging metal with fake rust to intentionally mangling electronics, these channels were willing to do anything to manipulate viewers into.
I kind of thought that would be like what they would be doing, though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like that's groundbreaking. It's YouTube. Like, what do you expect?
Thinking these items were being authentically restored. This got so bad that it began to affect real restoration channels who would suffer on YouTube due to not being able to keep up with the competition of fakers,
okay, that's why.
who can pump out more dramatic restorations more
Fake it
often.
until you make it. Yep.
Resulted in real restoration expert Backyard Ballistics creating a video educating his viewers on how to spot the phonies.
Another thing that could give away one of these fakes is the presence of uncovered areas that have been missed during the application of fakes.
So basically, what's happening is it's the same as all the hardcore YouTubers that have never streamed a day in their life and don't actually play hardcore Minecraft. It's realistically creative Minecraft. I'm understanding now.
Trust. For example, a Slink's Weevil could leave a shadow during spraying, and there's no natural process that would leave such an appearance, so we can conclude with high confidence that we're looking at some form of fake rust.
Backyard Ballistics separates fake restoration videos into two categories, mild fakes and strong fakes. Mild fakes are when an object in good condition is intentionally damaged, using natural processes to make it look more aged or corroded. For example, the creator might bury the item, expose it to water, or place it in a humid environment to speed up the rusting or decay. The damage is real, and so is the restoration process. It's just the decay was deliberately caused for the sake of the video. Mild fakes
that's
can still be
fair.
valuable because the techniques used in the restoration process are genuine. Backyard Ballistics does a good job explaining how to spot mild fakes.
First of all, corrosion that happened over many years looks different. Look for these lamps. They are very hard crystals of corrosion products, and they take very long to form. This one was on the K98K I restored. Another one where you can clearly see them is the Model 91 Carcano, and also the Steyr 1912 that I did last. In order to cause this rusting on purpose, I would have needed to start doing it before I even thought of doing YouTube. So if you see these, the decay was probably genuine.
Strong fakes, on the other hand, are completely staged. The object wasn't damaged naturally or even through realistic processes. Instead, the creator uses materials like paints, dyes, or fillers to make it look rusted or decayed. Essentially, it's all for show, and the restoration process is more about theatrics than actual skill. Strong fakes often have little to no educational value
So-
because the problems they quote fix were never real.
Like
to
well out of
begin with.
sync.
And Backyard Ballistics explains it best how to spot these.
Let me
Usually
see if I refresh that. See what
The
it says.
YouTube community is no stranger to staged or highly
Just by looking carefully. For example, there is no reason for a plastic or rubber piece to become rust colored, nor for a steel object to develop green or bluish corrosion products. If you see a steel object with green stuff on it, then what you're looking at is most certainly fake.
By the start of 2023, more and more fake restoration channels had stopped trying to repair the electronics in their videos and just got to the point where they destroyed items on camera. Following this, they'd use editing tricks to make it look like the item was being restored by adding reassembly clips from when it was brand new.
Look at this. That is a new circuit board that he's putting in there. If you remember, some of those elements there had heavy rust on them. Now they're perfect from just soapy water. The red flaps, that looks like new plastic. If we go back in the video, let's have a look at them here. Now let's go back here and have a look at what they've turned out like. So from this dirty looking flap to this flap, which looks pristine and new.
As if needlessly breaking consumer electronics wasn't bad enough, these channels would scale up their destructive strategy to whole motorcycles. While a majority of viewers didn't notice the inherent problems with cleaning engine parts this way, there were a few members of the audience willing to point out this flaw, with a commenter stating, "This is not how you restore a motorcycle. Frame not entirely dismantled before paint removal or painting, painting over steerer bearings and ignition barrel, fill over the top of primer, what looked like soapy water to clean engine block and components, the worst painting technique I've ever witnessed." As deceptive and destructive as fake restoration might seem, that is only truly the tip
Sounds
of
like
the
an average
iceberg
YouTube
and
comment.
actually looks completely innocent and harmless when you look on the darker side of the niche. With cute animal content being a staple on YouTube, these depraved creators quickly figured out that restoring or rescuing animals could generate exponentially more views. Fake animal rescue videos would revolve around creators encountering animals in supposed distress or danger and then saving them. What seems to the unsuspecting viewer as wholesome content that is worth supporting. Unfortunately, many of these channels were doing anything but helping these defenseless animals, oftentimes putting them in real danger and harm's way just to play the hero when they are, quote, saved. One of the most common and
pretty cheap.
unexpected forms of fake animal videos involves freshwater turtles and barnacles. What are
Oh,
barnacles, you may
I've heard
be
of this
asking?
before.
Well, barnacles are tiny sea creatures that naturally stick to things like rocks, boats, and sometimes even sea turtles. They generally don't harm sea turtles, and it's a normal sight in the ocean. However, with the rise of oddly satisfying videos on YouTube, barnacle removal videos started trending. But since sea turtles are rare and often hard to come by,
Not
many creators
turtles,
found
yeah.
a way to fake this content by using freshwater turtles instead. These YouTubers go as far as actually gluing barnacles, shells, and dirt onto freshwater turtle shells, making it look like they need cleaning. Then, they film themselves saving these turtles by scraping the glued barnacles off. What many viewers don't realize is that this process causes real pain for the turtles. Their shells have nerve endings, so they can feel every scrape, leading to not only damage to the outer shell, but also deep internal trauma. It's a terrible form of animal abuse that from the outside, viewers don't really know is actually going on.
It's a shame some people are like this, you know what I mean? They ruin it for everybody else.
There are a few individuals behind most of these videos, and that they keep using the same freshwater turtles over and over again.
So after downloading
Oh, you have to watch on YouTube?
nearly 200 barnacle removal videos, I've come to the conclusion that 99% of these videos are
One of the Subway Surfers.
There's just one creep doing this. I've spotted about 6 different species of turtles used in these videos. After a while, I started to notice something truly disturbing, and I wasn't at all surprised. They're using the same turtles over and over again.
And with comments on these videos such as, "It's so nice to see kind people like you helping out these little turtles," it's obvious that most people don't seem to realize just how disturbing and cruel the content they're watching truly is. Happily watching these freshwater turtles have tons of dirt and barnacles glued to their shells, just to be satisfyingly scraped off with sharp metal tools to create viral content.
Giant barnacles? Are you serious, dude? These are literally rocks. I didn't watch this dude's channel yet. Look, that one's falling off because you just glued it. Look, you could see the super glue coming off. You can see the super glue on the side of the turtle. You could see that. That's not even super glue, that's hot glue. So you put burning hot glue, which is basically melted plastic, to the shell of the turtle, which can feel all of this. This is the worst offender I've seen. This channel, Rescue Sea Turtle. This dude sucks.
The worst part about these channels is that even after they are terminated, they simply create new channels and repost the same content, creating
Reasonable crash out, yep. Reasonable crash out.
Whilst fake animal rescue and restoration channels come in many forms, there are some underlying principles that are common to all of them. First of all, putting items and animals into real or staged danger. Second of all, they frame human intervention as the only way to make the situation better. And then finally, they have a massive list of uploads with almost identical restoration or rescue formats, oftentimes for the same item or animal being rescued or restored several times, an often overlooked aspect of fake or staged.
I might need to increase my bit rate though, that's my fix.
Anyone watching these videos without a restoration experience could try and replicate these hazardous cleaning methods and severely damage the item they are restoring or injure themselves. And it only gets worse when you apply this to videos involving living creatures. One could only imagine the number of people being fooled into thinking removing barnacles from turtle shells is a good idea. You would think having the entire YouTube community being aware of fake videos would make them less common, but you'd be wrong. Staged content keeps evolving to hide its more apparent flaws, and developed new ways to manipulate viewers into engaging with their content. Thankfully, there are still professionals out there making efforts to educate fans about these insidious tactics. On the 3rd of November 2024, a marine biologist and YouTuber by the name of K Passionate would upload a video titled "How to Spot Fake Animal Rescue Videos." While the video was primarily meant to expose the dubious sides of animal rescue content, K Passionate would go beyond that, highlighting the danger these types of videos could have on both people and animals.
The sea otter fled in haste to a fishing boat to escape from the killer whale. Once aboard, the otter appeared visibly panicked, continuously scanning the water's surface as if searching for something.
This video claims a distressed sea otter mom was separated from
Diamonds.
her pup. It actually says children multiple times, but that's fine. The video has 4 million views and is entirely fake.
K Passionate would go on to explain that while the 2 sea otters in the video were indeed rescued, the narration around the video was a complete lie.
The narration in this video is completely fictional, however. The otter was not searching for her own child. It was just escaping the orcas. In fact, we don't even know if it's a female. We then cut to a rescued baby sea otter. Fun fact, I used to work at this
Thank you so
facility,
much.
and I know the people seen caring for this otter who was separated from her mother and flown to a rescue facility. But that rescue story is nothing like the one that the video is telling.
But likely very hungry, having finished a whole bottle of milk. The staff showed immense compassion, purchasing many cute toys for the little ones.
There's my
However,
video.
being so young, they would cry if they couldn't find their mother.
We then cut to a video showing a completely different species of animal in an entirely different facility. The previous clips showed sea otter pups, and this is
Green Fu, how are ya?
pup. Adorable.
Enjoy the emotes.
Story around the otters wasn't wild enough already, the AI narrator would claim that the two otters later had a heartwarming reunion.
Fortunately, 2 weeks later, the people on the boat managed to contact the rescue center.
What?
Finally, the mother and her children were reunited. The sea otter excitedly embraced her recovered child.
It's
tears of
like-
gratitude streaming down her face.
Oh, that was horrible. None of which ever happened. Joey was deemed non-releasable by the Department of Fisheries and Oceans Canada, and you can see him today if you visit Vancouver, along with this rescued pup seen earlier.
Without any additional context, someone watching this feel-good video might assume that the otter was genuinely separated and unknowingly share a completely fabricated story across social media. Fortunately, K-Passionate had ways to get around this.
While it might seem harmless to like and share a feel-good story like this, it can actually be pretty dangerous if the video is fake. One of the first questions I ask when I see one of these stories is who posted the video? Is it from a trusted source? There are a lot of really incredible people and organizations
I've seen
out there
this guy.
rescuing animals and sharing their stories on social media.
To cover their tracks, these fake animal rescue pages will frequently use positive sounding names for their pages, and try to use disclaimers to hide copyright abuse.
But I'm always suspicious about videos from anonymous accounts with names like Heartwarming Animal Rescues or Animal Kindness, especially ones that use text-to-voice narration. A dead giveaway is a disclaimer in the descriptions that will look like this. Contact the owner first to use this photo. All rights are reserved and belong to this photo's owner. Please DM for credit or removal, or no copyright infringement intended.
In addition to this, K-Passionate would point out the lack of continuity as another telltale sign of fake animal rescue videos.
The next thing I look for is continuity. Are we seeing the same animal, or are they cutting back and forth between different animals or even different species? Do we see the same people from one clip to the next?
Finally, K-Passionate advised people should fact-check the supposed danger to animals before jumping to conclusions.
Which brings me to the next.
The bad thing about all of that is that like people actually legitimately fall for those. Like it's the same thing as like all like the like telemarketing scams. Like it's actually like mind-boggling. Like yeah. Like literally changing scenes to like a different species of animal. And like people still believe in that. Yeah, people fall for a lot of dumb things. There are, unfortunately, a lot of dumb people in the world. It's, not good.
Next thing that I look for when I see an animal video. Does it seem remotely plausible based on what we know about the animals involved? This video claims the whale is in pain from these barnacles and the humans are helping it by removing them. When you get a chance, Google, "Are barnacles bad for whales?" You'll quickly learn that whales and barnacles have a symbiotic relationship that can be mutually beneficial, and that barnacles do not harm the whales in any way, shape, or form.
It goes without saying, but fake animal rescue or restoration videos rely on manipulating viewer emotions to go viral, and this often has serious consequences for everyone. A prime illustration of this is how these videos encourage people to disturb animals in the wild while giving them the worst advice on how to handle them properly. And worst of all, the continued success of these videos on YouTube only encourages people in a financially desperate position to put animals in harm's way in order to get some extra money. At the end of the day, the most effective way of dealing with this ongoing issue is by raising awareness and reporting the content when you come across it. As viewers, we need to make it as difficult as possible for creators to profit from this harmful content, as this is the best we can do until YouTube develops a stronger solution.
That's actually, true, dude. Alright, we're not gonna watch another video because I'm about to jump off in a sec. We're just gonna finish, otherwise I would watch another video. I just want to finish digging this. I just got here. I need to go to sleep. I'll be back on tomorrow since I'm a consistent streamer now. And then I've got 2 days, and then I've got the weekend off, so I was looking at maybe doing some long streams, like 10 or 12 hour streams. On one or maybe both of the days. But we'll see. Pulled an all-nighter. I was just playing a game and fixing my fans. And then damn, it was the morning. I need to go back and get another pickaxe. Like, she already 5 a.m. Wait, what time is it now for you? PM. Yeah, I swear night hours go faster than day hours. Oh, yeah, that's right. Gotta go get another pickaxe. Alright, I'm gonna have to get some enchanting done though. Because otherwise I'm just gonna burn through all my diamonds on holes. Like I need Unbreaking 3 and whatnot. And fortune, etc, 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 etc. This might actually be enough durability. We'll just, yeah, we'll do that. That'll be enough durability. Also, this salmon has lasted way longer than I thought it was going to. Can't wait for Packing to get on stream tomorrow with full netherite. I did some off-stream mining. True. I'm gonna have to make a list of stuff that we need to get done over the weekend. Yep, we started with the 10-hour video of cooking bacon. Oh. Oh no, I'll just do this and then because I might actually go a little bit deeper. Hold up, I keep getting distracted. Let's finish this layer. I think for tomorrow though, we definitely should do like a villager breeder. And start an iron farm. I think those are like the two things we need to do. Because then we can just have stuff just ticking over. You know what I mean? Like the sugarcane farm, an iron farm, just those things. You know what I mean? And then we won't have to go caving anymore for iron. But I'll have to do probably 1 or 2 more big caving sessions, especially for redstone. But wait till we get a fortune 3 before we do that. Alrighty. That is going to be me for today. I'm going to run back to spawn quickly. Yeah, and efficiency. Efficiency, yeah. We need to start getting everything together. And then it'll all start going a little bit quicker. But we are sort of getting to that point now where we're going to start min-maxing the game, if you know what I mean. Like, we'll look for... Like, we'll start using chunk base. So we can see where everything is on the seed. I haven't done a lot of exploring, though, so... I'm like torn. Like, I kind of want to explore, but then I also kind of just want to, like, know where everything is. Alright, guys. I will see you all... Yeah, I think we'll do a little bit of exploring before we use chunk base. Alright, guys. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. When I get home from work. And... yeah. Should you stream? No. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.